Labels are gonna try and kill me for making this video, but I'm gonna make it anyway. Here's how you, as a musician, can blow up without selling your soul, without getting signed to a label. So what does it mean to sell your soul in the music industry? Selling your soul is when you give away your morals and your ethics for the sake of money and fame. This is a necklace, by the way, and this is a gun. Just your standard rap props. An example would be twerking on the devil or making fun of a religion for the sake of attention. It is so easy to get attention in both ways, the right way and the wrong way, but it's even easier to get attention the wrong way. And that's because humans are predictable. If you pull on emotional strings that are going to make people angry at you, it is easy to get attention. If you want to take this route of selling your soul, all you have to do is attack somebody's internal beliefs and insecurities. Attack religion, things that hold people's lives together. The first step is to define your competitive advantages. What upcoming artists do is they try to copy other already popular and successful artists. But what they're actually doing is copying their competitive advantages, things that they have that brought them to where they are now. Not even realizing that, number one, you can't copy somebody's competitive advantage. It's something that they have. Number two, you have competitive advantages which you aren't even aware of. You have competitive advantages that Drake doesn't have, that Central C doesn't have. Everybody has their own competitive advantages. I'm going to list out the categories of different competitive advantages, and then we're going to go into specifics. So skills, you have appearance, you have network, you have freedom, location / situation. So if we go to skills, the obvious ones are going to be mixing and mastering. Another skill is videography. The next skill could be thinking. You're good at coming up with ideas. Next skill could be networking. When it comes to your appearance, are you 7 foot or are you 4'9"? Let me just tell you, when it comes to content creation, you have one of the most standout qualities, something that will literally force attention upon you. If you make a rap music video and you are standing out in public, rapping on a microphone, and everybody around you is so tall and you're literally this tiny little midget, that will bring so much attention to you. And if you're good at making music, that attention is very, 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 very powerful. If we are blending location with appearance, if you live in China, are you African? Because you will stand out in China. What about your appearance stands out? All right, next let's go to freedom, financial, and time. Sometimes having a surplus of money or time can be more of a burden than it is a blessing because you don't know what to do with it. I've seen guys who have spent thousands of US dollars a month on ads and have gotten no results from it. Let's move to location and situation. If you're in America, that is a competitive advantage already. I don't have physical access to American musicians. I live in Hong Kong. I don't know anybody successful in the music industry out here in Hong Kong. Next, network. Do you have friends that do videography? Do you have friends that own social media marketing agencies? Okay, that's pretty shitty network right there that has nothing to do with music. You need to use the people around you in a mutualistic way. If you have a friend that does videography, you could simply work with him where he makes you a music video, and every single time one of your friends asks, hey, do you know anybody that does music videos, you direct it to him. All right, that's a mutualistic benefit right there. One thing I want you to do right now is go ahead and comment down below all of your competitive advantages and put them in a list form. And the reason why I want you to do this is because I want you to take action right now. I don't want you to do this later. I want you to do it right now. Become aware of what you have that other people don't have. And then what you're going to do is scroll through other people's competitive advantages and be like, oh, wow, this guy has this. I have that too. I'm going to write that down. All right, let's go to the next step. Okay, step number 2. Can you guess what this is? You need to pair up with someone. And you need to pair up with someone that complements you. So with your competitive advantages, you want to find somebody that complements yours. You don't want to find somebody who has the same issues as you. You don't want to find somebody who has the same skills as you. You need to have somebody that is lacking something that you have. And you want to find somebody that has something that you're lacking. And this is extremely, extremely, extremely powerful. And I'll prove it to you. So you might think the obvious. If you have 2 people, it splits the workload, right? 50-50. And therefore, you guys can get things done at twice the speed. You might think that, but actually, it's more like maybe 10 to 50 times the speed. And the reason is because Your partner already has skills which you don't need to spend time mastering. So you save so much time there. Additionally, you have two brains. And this allows you to avoid bias as long as both of you and your partner, is completely honest. I'm actually going to write down the qualities which you probably want to look for in a partner, and that would be honesty, complementing skills. You want to share the same vision. But you want to find somebody where you guys both share the same vision and complement one another and fill each other's gaps. And this builds a most strong relationship because you guys will rely on each other. If you guys are both so self-sustainable, you technically don't need that other person's help. So when times are good for yourself, you don't need to, you guys may just drift apart. However, if you guys are both in need for one another, doesn't that make sense? You will just stick together. There'll be no times where you guys are like, I technically don't need this guy's help anymore. You guys will stick together. One of the biggest benefits of having a partner to work with or partners to work with is accountability. You don't want to be seen as lazy, especially by your work partner. You know at the back of your head, if you are being lazy, you're not just messing yourself up, you're messing your partner up as well. And I actually learned this from one of the clients that I'm mentoring who works in a pair. One is a musician and the other one is, he does a lot of the back end work, and they work together really well. And they're both super driven, they both have the same vision, and that's why they're getting shit done. They hold each other accountable. Speaking of finding somebody you want to work with, I am a mentor myself, and if you feel like you need somebody to help guide you, I have that service available. We only allow 15 people into this little mentorship group, and we are very particular with who we choose. All of our slots got filled up within the first 2 hours of our video uploading previously. I'm here to let you know that we've opened up slots. We have slots available for those who are in need for mentorship services. Somebody to guide you towards what you want in music. But yep, anyways, let's get back to the video. The third one is having a creative group. You don't want to create a group that you lead, but a group where everybody benefits from one another. One of the reasons is friendly competition. When I was skateboarding with my friends, I would never admit this, but the reason why I got so good is because I never wanted to be the worst at skateboarding. I always wanted to be the best. You don't want to be left behind. Additionally, you have combined brains. What you should be doing is having groups where everybody will just dish out information and not hold anything back, not gatekeep anything, because this allows for a really, really, really healthy community where you can grow and learn things together. If you ever find somebody that takes information but holds their own discoveries to themselves, kick them out the group. I don't gatekeep anything around my friends at all. The third one is accountability. If you're in a group and you suddenly start posting, they're gonna ask you why. All right, that one's obvious. And the fourth one is help. Help with ideas. Help with filming, just people to hang out with, that provide you with inspiration daily. Okay, and you may be wondering, how do I find people to create a group with? If you have nobody in your area that makes music, then just go and find people online. I built a music producer group alongside with one other friend, and the people that were in the group were everywhere. We had one in Croatia, one in Sweden, 2 guys in Florida, I was in Hong Kong, and we made it work. We built a producer page that grew from 0 to 1,000 over YouTube subscribers and got monetized within 2 months. We were holding each other accountable. That was probably one of the most productive times of my life. Okay, step number 4. This is prioritizing. So before you skip this chapter, I'm gonna open your mind up. And you're gonna realize that you've been prioritizing the wrong thing this entire time. On this graph, we have ROI. So we have high return and we have low return. We have low effort and we have high effort. Paid advertisements on YouTube or Instagram. You might think that that's low effort because you just chuck on an ad and that should generate you views, streams, I mean. Okay, sure. How many hours did it take for you to work to get $200 US? Probably about 3 days of work, right? So that's not low effort. That is high effort. And what is it like in terms of returns? Spending $200 on ads, is that going to give you good return? Obviously not. $200 on ads is going to get you about 20,000 impressions and maybe 50 clicks to your Spotify if you're lucky. That means you're going to have 20 listeners. And out of those 20 listeners, depending on how good your music is, if you're delusional or not, you're probably going to have 2 listeners that will stick with you. So you're spending $200 US to have 2 listeners or 2 fans who will eventually flake off. Paid ads. Now the next one, making content daily. Low effort or high effort? In most cases, it's high effort. Creating content daily is not easy. Is it low return or high return? It depends. For most people, it's low return. However, it is extremely high return from others. So it's polarizing. All right, so I'm bringing on a point here. Okay, why would I make videos daily if there is such a big risk of me getting no return for posting every single day for 90 days? And that's because you're prioritizing the wrong thing in itself. It's not to make videos daily, but to understand how to make videos that people actually want to watch. Your most high return investment of time is understanding what people want. That is the most powerful thing, the most powerful skill you can ever obtain. If you open up a restaurant and you know exactly what kind of food people like in that area based on demographics, then that restaurant will do well. If you open up a Chinese restaurant that sells pulled pork in Syria, do you think it's going to do well? If you don't get any results from videos that you post online, it's because you don't understand what people want. If you harness a skill and master the skill, you can post a video once a week and go berserk viral. But ideally, you would want to post daily. What I'm saying is that your priority is not to post videos daily, but to understand the skill here. Hopefully, I made you realize that the reason why you're not getting any success with making content is because you don't understand what people want. So the next step is a 90-day stick. Very simple. Stay consistent for 90 days. That's all you have to do. Stay consistent for 3 months straight. And don't stop, don't quit, don't become inconsistent until you've done that for 90 days. And therefore you can be satisfied with your attempt. Most of the time people do not commit to something or even stick to something consistently for 30 days.